Hey there, how are you? Welcome back to returning guests and welcome to anybody else's first time coming to this channel. Today I'm going to make some simple trays out of some walnut. Wasn't quite wide enough, so I cut it where I thought it looked okay according to the grain, glued it up inside. I'm going to put it onto the CNC and face it down, flip it over, face it again, work from there, see what my thickness is, and just make out 3 simple stackable trays. Okay, so to level this out, I got a 1.5 inch surfacing bit in here. I'm just gonna put the program, the carbide motion, into jog mode, turn it on 3, and just kind of creep up onto the board and see if I can just surface it that way instead of writing the file for it to the specific size of the board. I just want to surface it down, sand it out a little bit, and then we'll go into making some simple trays with it. So just to show you what I'll be doing, I'll turn the spindle on and move this across the board to surface it, but obviously I'll go a lot slower than that. I move my increment down probably to 1/4 of a millimeter to start with, move up to 1 millimeter, and take it slow. It would be nice if there was a jump between 1 and fast, but fast may be a little too much. Okay, now I'm just going to cut off this end that didn't glue up very well and I'm not going to use anyways. Okay, so now I'm just going to reinitialize the machine. I'm going to go ahead and put my 1/4 inch end mill in. Okay, so we had a couple different issues happen throughout that run. One thing I'll point out is, I don't know if you can see this, but there's this little lip here that doesn't go all the way around. Now I really wasn't exactly sure where that come from, but I also noticed that these trays are a lot thinner around the edges than what I planned on. A lot thinner. Now this last one is a little thicker, but another separate issue that happened is apparently it was cutting a little too deep. So I stopped it. What happened was it didn't even put the tabs on this one. It was cutting so deep that it was cutting the tabs, trying to cut the tabs into it after it already cut all the way through it. So it disconnected in there and kind of bumped the edge a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but right here on this edge, you kind of bump. But that looks like something that just could be sanded down and it still be okay. So after that happened, I stopped the run, went back to the file, and was planning on just running the last tool path again, but changing the thickness, changing the depth of the cut. And when that happened, it started over, but instead of taking this wider path that I showed you here, instead of taking this wider path around, for whatever reason, I'm not sure just yet why, but it cut in more on the second time trying to run that contour toolpath. Which made the walls of these two a lot thinner. So on the first file, this right here was cut out first. When I started it over and just run that toolpath again, it started from left to right, cutting these out, but it didn't follow the exact same path as what I was hoping for. I don't know if when I went in, I clicked something different. If maybe I might have, I don't know, changed it from outside right to inside left to cut the inside of the square out instead of the outside of the square. One way or another, a couple minor mistakes. This was still a good practice run, at least. That's expensive wood to practice, but I think it'll still work. And they're still useful. I mean, I can use these myself, so it still works for me. Okay, all in all, we had a few issues, but um, they look all right. They're not bad. I mean, and for the first shot, they work. So put a little oil on it and see how they turn out. All right, so if you stuck around this far, I surely appreciate it. I hope that you subscribe and come back to see what else we do next. I really don't know at this point what I'm doing next, so I'd tell you if I did. Thanks. I'm gonna come back in a couple hours and wipe some more oil off.